The deterioration has started. The collapse is coming. Let it collapse, because it's going to. I want to have this very serious conversation because it's Carnival time. It's February. I think it's a little bit late here. I think it's early March this year. But spring is coming. And with spring comes the most important event on the right-wing calendar. This is, you got to understand, this is the most important thing that's going on in Trump's America. Track meets. You heard me right. They actually have something they used to call, I think they still do, relay carnivals. And you never know what's going to happen on track meet. You never know who's going to be running there. All right? And you better stop and think about who's competing, particularly in girl sports, because you never know. And this is the number one issue in America is not Vladimir Putin is running over Ukraine, getting ready to try to run over Western Europe. Number one issue in America is not that Warren Buffett and Walmart said strap in, we're coming in for some bad economic times. The number one issue in America is not that people need affordable health care or need to have retirement security, or young people need opportunity, or women have to be treated with dignity and have access to first-class health care. No. The number one issue, who is running in the girls' 400 meter at the state track meet. You and I we may not think about this, but boy, let me tell you, they do. And I think what they should do, and I'm going to give my right-wing friends a little advice on how to deal with it. You need to establish in right-wing America, with the full backing of Fox News, with the full backing of the House Republican caucus, with the full backing of the RNC, an extra governmental agency called the Department of Gender Verification. Now, where are you going to recruit people to do this? I tell you, you could start with CPAC. In my opinion, they probably have an unusual amount of perverts and pedophiles there. I know some of them are. And maybe they could go to the track meet and be sure that everything is on the up and up, because that's what's really happening here, okay? Now, when you go to the track meet, they're usually I know in Louisiana, I ran track in high school, but I think high school state championships in track and field tend to be in May, and maybe some in early June. But you got to be sure. I mean, you know, the rest of us are going on with our lives, and we got Jazz Fest in New Orleans in May, and other people are, it's kind of prime weather month for a lot of people in the United States. You're not going to be worried about this, but they are. And I'm just saying, you need to establish under the auspices of the right-wing umbrella, the Department of Gender Verification, because you have to be sure. Now, when you go watch these young people, and let me tell you, running track is not easy. You run 400 meters, it will wear your ass out. You don't kid yourself. But suppose that you get the runs. You got to go to the bathroom because you're watching people run. It happens to everybody. You don't know who's in there. You don't know what lurks behind that stall. You have to be very, very careful, because this is when you enter a bathroom to take a shit, you're entering into the great unknown. You don't know. Could be, I don't know what's in there, because you don't know the kind of people who hang out in bathrooms. All right? So you have to be very, very diligent. You need to make this front and center in your agenda. And if you feel like that, you have to protect these girls from, I'm not sure what, I don't really fucking understand it or give a shit, but it's a big goddamn issue to you. So you got to be sure that you're out there and ready to go. And, whenever this topic comes up, say, look, I'm sorry, I just don't think a lot about track meets. I think a lot about people having affordable health care. I think a lot about how we can grow America. I think a lot about that they're not going to be able to pass a debt limit, not even close, much less reconciliation, anything else. And okay, I've had a little fun here. I love to have fun. I love to mock and make fun of these fucking idiots. But the fundamental question that we're going to be faced with now is what's going to be the Democratic reaction with this? I'm pretty confident. I'll tease it. I'm going to have a piece come in the New York Times either early next week or by midweek. You never know. They could kill it, but we'll see where it goes. And when I think about the Democratic reaction, I think about a stupid movie I saw. I can't remember the name of it. It was a big high school movie, and the typical, I don't know, Texas high school football coach. And they have this really enthusiastic kid. And he says, I love this line. He says, are you all you can be? You remember the Army slogan. And of course, a 17-year-old kid says, yes, coach, yes, coach. He said, try to be a little bit less. Try to be a little bit less. So my view, and I see all this coming out of Washington, these politicians throwing their hands in the air, standing in front of buildings, screaming, yelling, circle the wagons, shoot the guns in the air, woo-hoo, we're going to get them, we're going to get them. And just be a little bit less. A little bit less. The truth of the matter is, they are walking into a giant trap. And when somebody is walking into a giant trap, clear the path. Clear the path. You got plenty time. Don't be running around, circling wagons, shooting guns in the air, yelling, screaming, crying, moaning, fainting, all other shit that you see. Hold your fire. Remember the story of Gettysburg, the third day, Lee orders Pickett to charge the stone wall. Hancock brought him back there saying, hold your fire, hold your fire. Everybody wanted to shoot. And then when they shot, they shot. I always liked the movie Roadhouse. I know I can see the fucking NPR people coming out of the work. There's misogynistic, male toxicity and all that shit. Oh, fuck you. But Patrick Swayze tells the other coolers or bouncers or whatever they call them, he said, be nice until it's time not to be nice. The time not to be nice is coming faster than you think. And when it does, and you can already see, I don't go through you can go to the CNN site, this guy, Harvey Enten, E-N-T-E-N, he's pretty good. I'll tell you that right now. The deterioration has started, the collapse is coming. Let it collapse, because it's going to. And we can't rush the calendar. But you saw what happened in that Iowa State Senate seat in eastern Iowa. Trump won by 20. The Democrat won a special election by 4. All right, Democrats turn out more for special elections. Don't take too much from it. You saw what happened in that Trump Cook PVI plus, 20 congressional district where they wore that stupid jackass dope congressman out. He didn't know what the fuck did he know whether to whine his ass or scratch his watch. All that is coming. And the biggie is coming early November, Virginia. Do you think federal employees are going to show up? I do. My dad was the very personification of a minor federal bureaucrat. He was the postmaster in my hometown, which was a third-class post office. We were all very proud of what my dad did, by the way. He had great service. People would come to the post office and hang out, shoot the shit, trade gossip, find out who was sick, who was well, who was being born, who was getting married. All the things that happen in life would happen at the post office. And this is all coming. So I urge all of you to stay vigilant, to see what's coming, hold your fire. Don't pay any fucking attention to Washington progressive advocacy groups. They're not, if it were useless, it would be good, because that would mean that to be useless is to neither be positive or negative. They actually hurt. There are people out there, going in front of people's homes and screaming and yelling to pacify their donors. It tells people to shut up. They've lost every fight that you can imagine that you can lose, and they never run anything in their mouth more than their mouth. So don't pay any attention to that. I am very confident that the House Democrats know what the position they are in. I'm very confident that they have a strategy going into this. I'm going to be visiting with them here before long at a retreat. But what I see out of them is impressive, and you should write your Democratic congressperson and say, I'm very encouraged, and I think you have a plan. I want to back up my encouragement. If I see the plan, if it is as smart as I think it is, I'll back it up with a contribution. Understand it. In politics, I had a good friend of mine, a very informed person. She was talking about how she was calling very proud that she was calling all the officers of these Republican senators, and bitching them out. And I said, look, that's fine. But if you want to do something really, really productive, encourage Democrats who are being smart. You can call and go scream and yell at Joni Ernst's person that answers the phone. And I mean, that's good. That might make you feel better. It might be therapeutic, and go ahead and do that. But what you should do is pick up the phone to a Democratic congressman who understands, or congresswoman person, whatever the fuck it is. I don't really get these gender wars. And say, I think you're being smart, and I want to encourage this. I am more interested in us being smart and us winning than us screaming and yelling and throwing our arms in the air and all that other bullshit that you see. So I enjoy Carnival. We got a lot of people coming. I live right there. I can sit on my balcony. We love balconies in New Orleans, and I get right to St. Charles Avenue. I watch all the parades come by. I'll probably have a pop too. Probably have a little jambalaya, a little king cake. All of that stuff that we like, and a lot of coastal people don't even understand or try to understand, but I don't really give a fuck. And enjoy myself. But I want to assure you that I think that these congressional and House Democrats, I think they're working on a plan. I think it's a smart plan. It can be executed ahead of time. And what I've said, and we'll continue to say, we need to play possum. Just sit there. Oh, they're not doing anything. Democrats are lethargic. That's what possum said. And then they're not lethargic. Be behind the stone wall at Gettysburg. Encourage them to keep marching toward you. Be nice. They're 500 yards away from the stone wall. Now's the time to be nice. When they're 125 yards from the stone wall, it's time. Maybe even 50. I'd have to look. But when they're closer, then don't be nice. Don't be nice. But until now, enjoy Carnival. Watch the whole goddamn thing sink as the polling numbers go right in the crapper. And when it's time, don't be nice. And they're all going to be at the track meet. All right? And they're going to have the CPAC gender verification squad out there. And you can't do anything about it. If I was them, I'd bring a porta toilet there, because shit, when you go to take a shit, you don't know what you're running into in this day and age, now do you? So you should bring your own your own John with you. So I'll be clear, the Stephen A. diversion, people were very nice. They called the Politicon people and asked for permission to run it. And of course, we were delighted to give it to him. And of course, he has an open invitation to come on Al Hunt and I's podcast, which is on Politicon. And, we can talk about a lot of things. We can yuck it up about sports. We can yuck it up about politics, anything else. I'm happy to do that. I think we do need some diversion and some humor, and we need to have a good time and call people out sometimes and have a good time. So we'll wait and see. Thank you.